Guys, and welcome to Aussie Tech Racing. And I'm going to do a bit different here. I'm going to do a replay here, and I'm going to talk you through it because it was actually a fun race. Didn't win it, but it was a fun race. There was the guy in front of me. So that's the thing with this track. You don't have to be the fastest to make up space. And in this case, the guy in front of me made some big mistakes on his first lap. Made one or two on the second lap. But yes, it's about how I dealt with how he did it, which we'll see. So you'll see what happens. So we'll go into the replay. So this is daily race C for the week, and starting in second place. And it's basically going to be a race between just me and Total Insertia, I think that's how you say it, in front of me. The guys behind are kind of going to fall to the wayside. So don't have to really worry about them. So we're starting off here in first place. And actually what I'm going to do, we will turn on full race display so you can see what's happening. So a nice clean start to the race here, and this is the view that I normally drive in. And we've had a pretty good start in my good old super cheap auto Aussie Tech Racing Nissan GTR. We can see here, I'm just going to go to this view for a second. We've got to spot between some different views as we go along. And nice clean race, and I'm finding best way to try and get a result here is just to almost just stay on the track. Because we will see, this is my favourite view, that the guy ahead does make a couple of mistakes, especially on this first lap. And there were some moments there, but it's how he came back on the track that kind of worried me a bit. And I could have been a bit more dirty, or I could have been a bit more assertive and taken advantage of him when he made these mistakes. But he did come back on the track and basically block when he did. So it made it very hard to really take advantage of his mistakes. But he was fast. Just made a couple mistakes here and there, but I just kind of backed off, and you'll see me back off when he makes these couple mistakes, because I just knew that he was going to cause contact. And it was mainly on this first lap. Second lap wasn't too bad, so we might actually fast forward a bit of the second lap, because it's a very long lap at this track, and 18 minutes is a long time for me to talk because I'm not streaming at the moment. I will be streaming tonight, by the way. So there we go, it's already gone off a bit there. He's made a bit of a mistake, so we're making up time on him here. And this is where I'm going, okay, this guy is fast. It looks like he might be a bit prone to making a couple of mistakes. So let's just be a bit careful, be a bit smart here. And here we go around these corners. I believe he makes a mistake. He's just nearly 2 laps in a row. A little bit off there, not too much, lost a bit of time. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, okay, let's just stick behind him, see if I can pressurise him into some mistakes, which we did actually do, just couldn't take advantage of those mistakes. Well, could have, but I'm not that kind of driver. And when you see them, it wasn't really able to take very much of advantage of his mistakes because of the way that he came back on the track, which made it a bit more difficult. So he's made a little bit of a mistake there, so we've got a good run. I chose to stick behind him here. I guess I could have tried to go for an inline move, but no, he didn't block. There's no real point, just let him go around here. Let's get the run, just stick behind him and get a run up the hill, because quite often they'll make a mistake for that very fast left-hander at the top of this hill. GTR is definitely the meta car for this race, and it's got some really good straight line speed. The guy behind me at this point's already fallen behind by about 5 to 6 seconds. He made a mistake earlier on. So really, I'm thinking at this point, it's only going to be a race between me and this guy, unless it gets a bit dirty or we hold each other up. Another guy. So this is where he makes his first little bit of a mistake. He's gone off there, and he's come back on, and I just knew there was going to be contact there. I think he was going to... It really didn't give too much racing room there, so I just kind of backed off, and again he's made a little bit of a mistake. He's gone out wide there. Wasn't enough to make any advantage, so that was my first sign that, okay, he's not going to be 100% clean coming back onto the track. Not sure if it's really dirty though, but it's just that when he came back on, he did kind of move to the middle of the track instead of to the right, which is what I would do. I wouldn't go and move straight in front, especially since this is a 2-lap race and we're only on lap 1. Long way left in the race. But that's just kind of a bit of, hindsight's a bit of a beautiful thing sometimes, isn't it? So we're pulling in on the guy, and I believe as soon as we makes his second bit of a mistake, not sure if it's through this corner. Yeah, there it is. Hit the wall. I thought he was going to go off. He's managed to somehow hold on to it. So wasn't close enough to take any advantage of that. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty for hitting the wall then. I'm surprised he actually managed to get control. He's gone off a little bit there, so he's a little bit ragged through this section. This is where this section, if you're good for here, race clean. You can quite often take advantage of someone making some simple mistakes, and it's quite easy through this technical section of the ring. So here we go. Down through here. Another place where a lot of people take advantage of there, you kind of jump, and I think some people are kind of braking a tiny bit earlier and get into fourth so I can stable the car down, because it gets quite unstable going into that corner. Again for here, watch it for here, try not to cut that corner, because it really can lose your car. Quite a lot make mistakes in this corner. He's kept it quite clean there this time around. I've seen a lot lose, and I've made up spaces at that very corner. So he's riding for quite good at the moment. So that's pretty good at the moment. So we're coming down to the big main straight. I can't remember what they call this, the straight, but I should know, shouldn't I? So I'm just going to stick in. I'm about 0.9 seconds behind him, so I've got a little bit of a slipstream, but not really enough to catch up, so just kind of keeping status quo. And at the end of the straights where he makes his next mistake, and again where I could have possibly taken advantage of, and I think some other drivers probably would. So it's a side-by-side driving down behind us, so here we go. Into these last couple of corners. Again, we're an easy place for people to make some mistakes. When you've got someone right on your tail, it's easy to make a bit of a mistake. In this case, he's overdriven. He's gone off here. He's gone off and back on, and it's just again nowhere I could go. I would have just absolutely clobbered him behind. He kind of pushed, just went straight back into the middle of the road. It's not really a place to really much room there anyway, but that's just a feeling. Let me know what you think. But I think when coming back on, when you've made a mistake, just be a little bit aware of the car behind you, especially when you've got a car close behind you. And he's probably just lucky that I was prepared to brake and just let him go. There's probably two opportunities in this where I could have raced a lot harder. He would probably either both, or he could have ended off the track, and I could have had an easy win. But I'm not that kind of driver. So here we are. We're going down the straight. This is where I make a little bit of a mistake. We'll go back into this view. I've kind of gone through this corner, and I've a little loose there, and I nearly lost it there. So I've lost some time. He managed to pull this next section. He managed to pull out a good 3-second lead until he makes another mistake a bit further on. Some of the corners which are prone to people making mistakes. This next one can be one that quite a lot of people make mistakes going into after that long straight and get this right-hander in correct, and a lot of people lose time there. In this case, he's actually pulling ahead. I do wish in these replays it still showed the times on that left-hand side there. It shows you where your places, but it doesn't show the times in replays. I wish it would. I thought they would have fixed that from GT Sport, but unfortunately it's still there. So back to my favourite view. He made a mistake here last lap. He hasn't done it this time. A little bit there, but he's kept it on, so I haven't really made much space. And again, he's starting to pull out to that 3-second lead on me. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to keep the pressure on, so I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to try making space myself. Because through these sections here, again, this corner here is another one that's prone to people making mistakes into this corner. He's gone a little bit wide. I thought he was going to make a bigger mistake than he did. He managed to hold on to it, so kudos to him. Again, for this next corner, see these right-handers, some people push too hard for here. I've probably lost a bit of space because I want to be a bit conservative. So sometimes they go wide, and then in here they brake way too late. You need to brake earlier than you think into these two corners because they're kind of like two lefts combined as one almost. When you're coming down here, usually this is the point where on a normal day it's a speed limit, and you can go to the right down here and get yourself an ice cream. Yeah, going to the right there through that gate. Apparently very nice ice creams too. You probably wanted a bit of hot weather that everyone's experience over that way at the moment. So yeah, we've got a good, it's going blowing out to about a 20-second lead almost now to the third place. So second place is pretty secure here. He's pulling ahead, but I was just thinking, I'm still going to go as far. I'm going to keep pushing because he can still make another mistake. Makes, I think, one or two more mistakes in the car. And like last time, he does it again through the very fast left-hander coming up. So right now, he's got about a 3-second lead on me. Thinking, okay, yeah, it's going to take a bigger boo-boo by him for me to get the win here. But I'm still, and I've gone for here, and I can see it, there's smoke, and he's just pushing it a bit too hard through that corner. And I've managed to pull in. And again, this next corner here is also another prone one so people can over-brake, or under-brake, should I say. He's done okay there, but I'm just, again, we've pulled it up to about a 1.5-second lead now. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, if I can try and just keep that pressure on, and if it makes any more mistakes for this next section, it's probably the first half of the track's usually easier to remember because it's the first part of the track that you go through. It's when you're going through these sections, it can be a little bit hard. It took me a while to remember these corners, but when you do, you can really do well. And again, cover these corners. This one here, sometimes people go wide off into the wall there. So I'm just going again, just keeping that pressure on him, hoping he makes a mistake, just keeping it clean. He's done better this time. He kept it off the wall there, so he's done well. I'm still putting in a little bit of time by this one. I've got it down to about a 1.4, 1.3 now. So he's obviously remembered that he made some mistakes there. I'm just keeping it. Don't want to make any mistakes myself. And that's one of the key points of this race. Again, here a lot of people go wide into that sand there. Just keeping it clean, may not be, don't try and push that extra second fast, but keeping it on the track can give you a very good result here, as long as you can avoid other people's contacts. Or like last night where I got taken out. Yeah, let's not get into that. So here we go, we're going, now coming up to the last, basically, section of this track, and again, he's pulling ahead. He's actually pulled it close to about 1.8, 1.9. Again, these next sections are quite prone to people making mistakes, so I just didn't want to make mistakes myself. He's a little bit wide here, but he's done well. This next corner, he kind of took it a bit too carefully. He went around the outside there. He lost. I caught him up by about 0.2 there, so we're down up to about 1.7 seconds now. So he's done actually a pretty good job through the second part of this technical section. So I'm not close enough now for a slipstream here. So the only thing now is to keep that pressure on, go flat chat down here, and we'll see how things go when he gets to the end of this big long straight. And like last lap he made a pretty big mistake, and I probably could have been a bit more forceful and got the lead, but then he might have got forceful towards me and it could have ended both of our races. And I'm thinking, you know, I started second, huge gap now, about 25, 26 seconds to the guy behind me. Let's just nice safe clean race here. Only got a couple more corners here. This is where he made a mistake last time. This time he hasn't. He's done quite well. I've kept a nice clean. I actually got a nice clean race this time round. And across the line in, he's won the race. The first lap was a bit of a probably hard stopper for him, and he probably had to hold his breath a couple of points. But he's managed to win the race, and I've got a good clean second place there. I could have been a bit more forceful, and I think others probably would have, but it's better not in finishing second than ruining both of our races. So there you go, guys. This is a video looking at the replay, talking as I go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and see you in the future videos. Stay safe and bye for now.